Hello and welcome to What We Watched with Scott and Toby. We're talking Midnight Mass, episode 2, Psalms. We're going to be talking some pretty spoiler heavy stuff, but if that's okay with you, continue on and I'll see you on the other side.
Come on.
We're talking, okay, we'll do it later.
Yeah, no, this isn't going to be the intro. This is me trashing the intro, talking all over the top of it. Welcome to the episode. Yeah.
Toby, I've seen the episode. Episode
2,
Psalms.
Nice. You're good with these old episode titles. I totally forget what Genesis was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Psalms is the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what the third one will be? So yeah, welcome back, viewers, listeners, to the Was It a Jump Cut or Was It Not a Jump Cut?
Oh, no.
Because episode 2 adds a bit more of the argument, fuel to the fire, I feel, by revisiting our infamed episode 1 debate on whether it's a jump cut or not a jump cut, and does it again in episode 2. I think backs my argument up, because there's only so much you can play that card before it becomes a non-event. Okay,
so you're coming in really loud. I don't know if that's me. Sorry, dude.
No, I might be shouting, I'm very animated and determined to win my argument.
Right. So if you tuned in last week, but you probably did. I don't know who starts with episode 2. Okay, I'm going to sum up my point very subtly. When we watch Haunting a House Hill, we start off like episode 1 and the little girl's getting haunted and they're these scary images. And we understand they're scary to her, they're scary to us. By episode 10 or what have you, we come to the understanding of what this ghost is. And the terror has changed for us. It's sad, heartbreaking. We understand who and what the ghost is. And the terror goes, and it's like a bitter, not even a bittersweet, just a sad.
It's really sad.
Right. And so this just feels like it's trying to do the same thing, but in one episode. It's trying to have this scary, gruesome images, which it is. It's jumping in with these sharp sounds, even though we know it's coming. Like it builds the tension with this slow camera pan and the slight blue flashing. But then it has the seagull squawk jump cut.
Yeah.
But it's also showing us that it's like this sad haunting.
Yeah.
And it just feels like it's slightly like they potentially did a list of all the things people loved about the previous seasons. People loved having a ghost that you can relate to, or not relate to, but the sad ghost that is at once scary and like emotionally haunting, and it's sort of squeezing that in one episode. And I guess to say that even in one episode it could have started off scary, and at the end we could have seen the car crash and had that bittersweet moment.
Okay.
You don't have to agree, Toby.
No, your presentation, the way that you're right in the way that it's presented in episode 1. And there is a case for, oh God, it's probably more scary if it came in as a jump cut and you didn't know why it was there. It would be more effective as a straight out jump cut. But the fact that we know and it's telegraphed, I think the first instance of it, and to just for viewers, after we recorded the last episode, Scott went and watched the episode, recorded on his phone the exact moment at the end of the episode, and went, "See, sucker," in his head to prove his point. After seeing that and you sending it to me, I was very much like, yeah. To be fair, the fact that it comes in with that music. Does make it's got all the elements of being a jump cut, apart from the fact, and even with jump cuts, they're telegraphed because the music or the sound dies away. In normal horror films, the audience is on the edge of their seat because they're expecting the jump cut, and when is it going to come? That's what makes them jump. So in this, I could argue for your case, definitely. But the fact that it comes back in this episode 2, pretty much not straight from the get-go, but about 20 minutes in or something like that. And then it comes in and they do it and they play that card again, and it's exactly the same as it is in the first episode. But then they cut back to it again very quickly. It's like double jump cut.
And he's on his little boat.
I just don't know whether it's maybe it's leading to somewhere, like we did with the broke neck lady or bent neck lady in House on Haunted Hill. Yeah, the other one. But
so
is it a jump cut? Is it a weak jump cut? I don't know. Yes, possibly it is a weak jump cut. Are they overusing it? Maybe, but is it for a purpose? I'm yet to find out. So I'm holding judgment. We will revisit this when the series is finished, once we finish episode or season 1. But at the moment, I'm on the fence.
Really? We're coming back to this point, are we?
Oh, yeah. I'm not dropping this until I'm 100% certain.
But just to clarify, my point wasn't that it was a weak jump cut or that they shouldn't be jump cutting. It was just that they're trying to have both, like a sad moment and a horrifying moment.
Oh, okay, right. No, that's different. I thought very much last week in the last episode.
Yeah, I think last week I think I don't know if I missed that was my point. I think I made it badly and several times.
Yeah, okay, right. That makes sense. Yes, I totally agree with you then.
Like it was just trying to get somewhere quicker than what's taken us previously.
Okay. Anyway,
we'll definitely talk more on the nature of jump cuts as this show goes, because we get a few.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I don't drink that much.
Drink?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I certainly don't get wasted anymore.
No, same.
But a week ago, I found myself at an open bar and abusing an open bar. And it was sort of one of those hangovers that destroys the entire weekend.
Okay.
Like Monday, it was a Friday, and Monday I was still like, I'm never drinking.
Yeah.
And so I watched this episode 2 on Saturday morning, like in my pajamas, refusing to leave the apartment, what have you.
Yeah.
The opening shot is, I would say, 8-9 minutes.
Yes. This is one of my first bullet points.
Just dizzying nightmarishness for a guy who has drunk more in one night than he has in 3 years put together.
Because it's a one shot, isn't it? The whole thing is a one shot.
It's like a steady cam, but you feel the cameraman's footsteps, which I think it just adds to it over the shoulderness. And they don't go anywhere. It's not to show off I'm going to try not to keep referring back to Haunting the House Hill, but there's that latter episode where they're in a funeral home.
Yeah.
And the whole episode is put together as one long shot. But it's a really nice feat of flashbacking, like literally running through a studio to a whole nother set and time zone. It was so beautifully done. This was a cool shot, but just being that hungover, I was begging for it to end. The seagulls wouldn't stop squawking. It's the shot on the beginning with like a million dead cats and Riley, the sheriff, like every character we've met mingling one-on-one, and the camera will just go around them in circles. Whew, that was a hard shot.
Yeah.
To sort of cover my eyes and look away and try and listen, but then the soundscape was nightmarish. Did you take in what the conversation was? It was just the small town buzz of what.
It wasn't too much in depth. I don't think it broke new ground, but it was just people giving, or especially one guy who I was on the fence about whether his acting was that great. He was very enthusiastic, just giving his theories and trying to steer. It felt like steer the sheriff's thought process in a direction or away from something.
Oh, he was shielding. He knows the true events. Was he the guy sort of throwing in like sparrows, starlings once flew into my windows? Yes. I don't know if that was a little king nod.
Possibly, yeah.
We've done the dark.
But there was a lot of. He did feel like he was trying to steer the thought process of the sheriff in some way, not too subtly. But the sheriff he's a great actor. And he felt very steadfast in his thought process. And there seems to be a lot of that going on, and especially in these first 2 episodes, of people having opinions on things and him having very much his own stance. He's very steadfast.
He's very
in his belief.
Out of his element, but they're a wily bunch to control. And not in the sense that they're like raucous, but that we're the town elders. You're here to serve us. Like when he was like, just everyone get off the beach. This could be biochemical. Like he doesn't have the respect. No, I suppose. And he has the officiality of it. But
and in episode 1, when he was suggesting that everybody went to the recreation centre, and she was, and the lady Bev,
we fortified the school,
assistants. We don't go there. We go to the church. That's where everybody goes. That type of thing. Yeah. So yes, I did like the long shot, but it was very apparent that they were trying to do a long shot. I thought it wasn't subtle, and like you say, that the even I felt a little bit dizzied by the cameraman's non-steady steadiness.
Because I kept looking for stuff in the background.
Yeah,
I was just like, having seen the other two shows and all the YouTube videos that have come after it, like all the things you've missed. And it's like, oh man, they were like planting seeds all the way back in like shot 1, episode 1. So I'm like, maybe there's a image of a crucifix that looks like it's upside down or something in the background. I didn't spot anything.
No, I didn't spot anything either. I wanted to mention the CG on the seagulls. Right, wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. So
I guess it's that thing of they could have picked a better shot and made it better.
Yeah,
as it were.
Yeah, definitely. But we and the character between what's his name, Riley and Erin, that conversation there was a little bit stilted. There's a lot of long pauses and things like that, but on the whole, it's a good sequence, I thought.
Do you think they had the issue of what? I don't know if there was any sneaky cuts in. Like I said, I had to keep looking away if there was actually some sneaky cuts in, but
no.
Like, who do we focus on for the best acting? Because it's like, right, we've done 10 takes and we've lost a week to this one shot.
Yeah.
This guy drops the ball, but this other guy is like flying high with his delivery. So how do we choose which take to use?
Yeah. For the length of it, it's quite impressive bit of work from the actors. I feel like there was possibly a bit of ad-libbing going on, and that's where it became a little bit.
There's a fun story of Orson Welles, I think. And it was like the studio wasn't trusting him after he did a film that took too long. And he was fighting with the studio. So his opening scene, it was like the whole scene he was setting up as one long shot, where the studio were like, how's he going? This guy is pretty slow. He was like, he's only got one shot. For them to rush on down and say, what the hell are you doing? He's like, yeah, we're wrapping the scene in your face.
And I'm done here.
I'm sure there's a elevated story there, but it's a fun one, even if embellished, I'm sure.
Yeah. The next moment that I bullet pointed from the episode, just so that I found was interesting, was the relationship between Lisa and the drunk guy, the guy with the dog. Because she's talking to the priest and they're walking through, and then there's a moment where the drunk guy, whose name is
Town Drunk One,
Wade, Joe Colley, he's with his dog, and the girl in the wheelchair, Lisa, she sort of just stops while she's talking with the priest and stares over at him and gives him the evil eyes, which alludes to something went on between them. And I'm going to assume that he in some way is the reason that she's in the wheelchair.
I don't think I picked up on that.
Yeah, that's
cool.
So that was one of the moments I picked up, because she just has such animosity towards him, and he's very much, he looks sorrowful in seeing her. So, and then I've got one that says the old lady and Monsieur Pruitt.
Is that like
I can't remember quite what that moment was about.
Some fan fiction, or some steamy fan fiction, probably.
Yeah. But she's definitely got something.
The old lady, the senile lady.
Yes.
The gay town nurse has like a senile, dementia mother, sort of old and infirm.
That's exactly the moment. Because something when the town it's not hit by the storm, but she sees something in the window, doesn't she?
This whole episode, we're getting creepy window stalkers.
And she thinks it's the Monsieur Pruitt, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I can't. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I wrote this down, and this is what I vaguely remember. She swears she saw him at the window, and again, it might be or it might be not. And then we have the bit where there's a section at the local fete or festival in which the dog that belongs to Joe is poisoned.
Flat out poisoned. Did you see? We saw him fed the hot dog. Did you see who gave him the hot dog? Was it Joe?
No, this is what I'm coming. Did she kill him? Because it's very much the episode alludes to it being the priest lady. I'm going to get these names down.
Feels Bev. Far too easy to assume it's Bev.
She was wearing a completely different dress.
Oh, you did see the body of whoever fed the hot dog.
So when the hot dog goes down, and there's you see that, and then there's somebody walks away. You see the corner of the dress flash out the bottom of the screen. I clocked the corner of the dress. It's very floral, had lots of little flowers all over it, and the lady, the priest lady, was wearing a completely different dress. So unless she costume changed.
So did you see who was wearing that dress?
I did look in the crowded people, and I didn't see anyone wearing the same dress. So I don't think she did it.
I think it's too easy to believe she did do it. Like
all directions are pointing towards her. Plus, they had the whole conversation about with the sheriff a bit later on in the closet about the poison and how she should be locking it away. That was a very weird conversation, I thought.
Was that not, man? So
was it in episode 1?
No. I just meant it was like sort of, again, like a metaphor for their whole relationship of like the sheriff being there, and like this is all access, but you have access to this place. But you're not welcome here, or I can't quite remember, something like that, right? Like everyone has access here, but not everyone should.
Yes,
like wink.
Yes,
not wink.
Yes. There was subtle undertones, or not so subtle undertones of, you shouldn't really be here. This is nothing to concern you. This island isn't for you. We are our own. We look after our own. We don't need some outsider. And especially, I think it doesn't
happen. Not I agree.
Yeah, it's not necessarily some race. Do you think there's it's alluding to race in any way?
I think they've written it to like sort of double entendre, if you will. You know what I mean? Like the metaphor for race, but it works without that because he's an outsider.
Yeah.
But it's written that if you can read into it, and it sort of is that as well, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because I mean, it's come up a few times that they're Muslim, right? Like they don't go to church, and everyone goes to church. But I mean, not everyone does. That church is pretty empty. The population is what, 127?
Yeah.
I think they said in the first episode, and it's not even a packed church. But maybe that's what's going on. Maybe next episode it will be.
Yeah, well, they directly reference the fact that on a certain day, is it the feasting day or the Sunday or something like that? Loads of people turn up, and then every other day nobody turns up. It's the same 2 people.
I mean, that is every day. It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm busy.
I guess it's a small town. It's sort of like entertainment. Yo, make crack some jokes.
And it's on its last legs. Okay, Flynn's AA speech is another area that I've written down. Huh? Yeah, I thought it was very good.
2 or 3 in this, huh?
Because he directly takes on the point of religion and everything in it, doesn't he?
When you were saying earlier, like, how is this road corpse girl, that's probably quite a brutal name for her, going to tie in? At this stage, I'm thinking like Riley's arc is going to be like finding his religion and sacrificing himself, and this roadkill girl is going to lead him to that like non-selfish judgment. Like he's going to have it all, as it were. Like he's going to hook up with the pregnant lady.
Yeah.
He's going to like, yo, let's just run away and we could start again, both of us. This is horrible here. It's horrible where we've come from. Let's get out of here and go somewhere new. But it's going to come down to, I feel like, that thing on the boat. We get this sort of metaphor of his isolation with Riley, where he dreams about being on this huge, vast, like flat-watered lake in a rowboat on his own, looking pretty anxious, or, you know, just separated from everyone. I feel like we're going to get some sort of X-Men style battle in here, like in his mind.
Right, okay. And
I think the girl's going to come to his rescue.
The car accident girl.
Oh, not his rescue, but be the beacon of strength. Like, yo, you're only getting past this if you unselfishly sacrifice yourself. That's where I think him and his character's going.
Oh, wow, okay. That's interesting. I hadn't gone that far with it.
I mean, it's
sacrifice.
I think so. I think he's not going to
end his life to save someone.
Or something like that. You know what I mean? Stay to be the one to take on. I think it's safe to say vampire after this episode.
Oh, definitely.
We haven't seen it for sure, but we've got like unless it's a drone with a knife taped on the front of it. If we get like this, we get a camera shot of just flying through the air with some sort of noise. And
could you imagine? It's the kids with their drone.
Oh, don't joke, Toby. Don't joke.
Yeah, definitely vampires. Sorry. Yes, I'm 100% now on the whole. It might be vampires. It's probably vampires. No, it's vampires. Yeah, like you said, the flapping around the island. There was a good, and then diving into the house, and then
A
pulling
lot of
in the
window
dope guy
creeping.
in the window.
Do we see the eyes again? I think we do, right?
Yes,
Or
I believe the eyes when the old lady sees him at the window. I think the eyes are there in that sequence.
Are we still distrustful of? Oh, he has got a good name. What do you call him? Seymour.
Oh yeah, Seymour Monpiet. Prait.
Do you think
Prait?
Seymour Monpiet? Do you think it's going to turn around and damn, he's here to stop the vampire? Do you think he's come here as a vampire hunter, Toby? Do you think?
Oh, okay. What, like Van Helsing?
Kinda.
So Monsieur Prait is the previous.
Oh, sorry, I meant the new guy.
Yes. So the current one. See, now this is my. Maybe it's this. I think they're the same people.
Oh, because we've never seen the previous.
No, only in shadows and running along the beach in the distance, Monsieur Prait.
And we do get an explanation where I guess Riley is like, "Yo, when's he coming back?" And he's like, "I got to be honest with you, he ain't coming back."
Yeah.
Did he say he's just like comatose, or I can't remember quite what he said. So my thinking at this point is that priest. I don't know if this is like arduous and it's all for nothing, but that priest sort of went to do some sort of missionary work, got bit by a bat, swung by another, like he's being tracked, and now he's back on the island, full vampire mode. This guy's here to hunt him down.
Oh,
but
that's nice. That's tasty.
He is kind of performing miracles, and he is shifty as hell. So
yes,
that's like a loose guess
because
it's so not obvious, but we're led down this path.
Yeah,
and it's so early on, episode 2. I'm thinking, we just watched Clickbait on Netflix, a nice murder mystery that has some pretty nice and tasty twists,
right,
per episode almost. That I'm now in the mindset of like, no, I'm going the opposite. I'm purposefully yanking the wheel, going the other way.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do it and it leads to nothing. I remember watching Lost. I was a big fan of Lost when it came out. And the sort of twists and turns led to such a paranoia that I was just questioning everything, to the state of like, I don't think they're even eating sausages. I think they're gonna show us this later, and they're not even sausages they're eating, or something crazy. Like, no, I think they are. They're just. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I just went hyper questionable to the point of like I'm plugged in the Matrix, so I'm not believing anything. So, take me with a tongue in cheek.
So what would that if so let's put a case for your he's there to hunt the vampire. He turns up at the same time as that crate turns up. He knocks on the crate and the crate knocks back.
It's true. I forgot about that.
Where does that play into your theory?
Doesn't at all.
When
you say put a case for it, that was the case.
Just crushed it
at its strongest. But like the polar bears in Lost, maybe it's like,
come to nothing.
Yeah, man, I just had a crate that knocks. Don't quiz me. Did it spook you out? No, that didn't. No. I mean, I can just sort of off the top of my tongue make up something. You know what I mean? Like, like he has the head vampire. It's like the let the right one in. He has like someone in control of their vampireness, and someone who has been bitten are two different things. So he's got the head vampire in, who is trying to be good, and all the people that person bites become zombie monsters, which they're trying to stop together.
Okay,
that's off the top of my head.
Monsieur Prait
is working with the head vampire.
We're working with the head vampire, who is trapped in a box, or was, because the box is now open.
Mate, and I mean, no, I'm not saying that. Now I've said it out loud. I'm probably not saying that. But hey, if it does come to that, I'll be glad I said it. If it doesn't, we won't mention how wrong I was again.
Yeah. I can't remember, and I'm annoyed that I didn't go back and double check my bullet points, whether somebody references the fact that this guy looks somewhat like Monsieur Prait.
That does ring a bell. I mean, he's wearing like really like heavy priest robes.
Yeah. Like just a younger version, but they've all been on that island for a very long time. So surely some of them would remember what he looked like when he was younger, if they're still around. But yeah, okay.
Because this guy is not that young. It's not like this guy is like I don't know, 40 something, right? The new.
Yeah, I'd say he's early 40s.
I guess there's potential hints that everyone on this island has been on this island in some sort of crazy loop when you say stuff like that, and they just hit a sort of reset button. Potentially.
Somebody's turning a wheel.
Of gothic way, yeah. Not big hints there. I won't go into my crazy conspiracy again. But just stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a small island with a small population. But then totally against that is the new people. They are leaving the island all the time. I guess they're trying to isolate it. That priest, like, so Riley would go to the mainland for his AA, and the priest is like, "Yo, stay on the island. Let's do it here." That is, I guess, hints of he's trying to. If he is sinister, he's just trying to isolate people. I kind of feel like, what the hell? Like, this island is tiny. Let me get off it. I want to get off once a day, not let alone once a week.
Yeah. Maybe part of what your theory is right, in that
he doesn't want anyone.
Everybody on this island is in some way implicit in the vampirism. And he has brought, the person in the box is the head vampire that turned everybody originally. And the weekly mass, the reason they all go to the feasting is to drink the blood of Christ, so that they don't have to drink blood. It's the same way that every other vampire does. And that this priest has turned up with the head vampire. But now my theory falls flat, because he was going to, for me, he was going to kill the head vampire on the island so he could kill everybody else. But that's not going to work because he's let him out for some reason, which would be stupid.
Maybe it's just his pet monkey.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Okay, we'll stop theorizing for now. But I then got Sarah jump scare. Clearly she comes back in again with his jump scare, and he's laying on the bed this time again, like in the first one, but he's just like, he turns to her and goes, "How was your day?"
Yeah, I guess
directly addresses this.
Never out of his mind, huh? Kind of hammered it in. I had
a whole big case for why it was and isn't, but we've been there already. So
break it down into several bullet points for me, Toby, please. Elegantly.
Obviously, we've mentioned the drug dealer getting taken.
Yeah, that was
quite a good little sequence, I thought. Just creature with the eyes cowering in the corner of the derelict house.
Why is that guy going in there? Come on.
Yeah.
Maybe have his dog run in there. I ain't going in there. The only arguable thing is it's a small town and he knows every single building like the back of his hand. So he is the guy that most people are scared of because he's a drug dealer, not because he's visually threatening, but like who there's at this point there's no talk of anyone missing or murder outside of a poisoned dog. So why would you fear going in it? I didn't. It was a voice and it felt like a voice mimicking someone else's, but I couldn't figure out who.
That's it, mimicry. Yes. See, if I was walking past an empty house and it was derelict and it was the middle of the night on a small fishing village where I knew everybody, and the voice that beckoned me into a house was that of something that I didn't recognize, but wasn't necessarily scary, I might go in because I would fear that somebody's in trouble and need help. But if it is mimicry, in the same way that this guy was saying hello, and it was hello, coming back up, that I would just turn and hightail it out of there. Fuck that shit. So yeah, why the hell he is walking into a house that's taking the piss out of him, I do not know.
You think it was
just daftness?
A killer parrot in the box.
I'm reading Salem's Lot, and in Salem's Lot, as soon as you're in the vicinity of a vampire, you're either feeling the uttermost fear that then gives way to a carefree existence, one where fear just doesn't exist. Maybe he's caught in that snare.
I guess, like, if I mean, a lot of vampire stuff have that hypnotic sense, right? But I don't know. I think they just wanted he's got to start killing people.
Yes.
Let's start with the drug dealer. I guess it's that thing where everyone's going to have a bit of a motive for killing him. Like, he's going to draw not the least suspicion if they find a body, but if you kill like the pregnant lady, the town goes into lockdown. If you kill the drug dealer that everyone knew was a drug dealer, it's okay. Let's round up the usual suspects. There's probably a bunch of people we can assume didn't kill this person. but we can jump to like a drug deal gone wrong potentially.
Yeah, he's
and
a drug dealer.
I'm
He's
thinking
bound to die.
he's going to come back sort of half zombie, half vampire anyway.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I hadn't thought about that. The whole vampires, they come back.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've gone down the fully found the vampire route, that's the next thing that's going to happen, isn't it? And then I've got the last thing I've got written down is the holy shit ending. What the F?
So I knew this was coming because
Did you?
I saw the Midnight Mass trailer.
Okay.
And it was very centered around that. I thought it was a film. I don't remember saying like from the makers of House Hill and stuff. So I just thought, oh, there's a cool film. I'll check it out. And that miracle of the girl in the wheelchair getting up was like centered. I think it made it look. I thought it was a film that was the pinnacle point. Like
right. Okay, that was your hook.
And it might well be like. I guess it's called Midnight Mass.
I hope not. We're in episode 2.
No, but sorry, I mean like a center point. Like I was saying earlier, like the church is very quiet for a church town, and maybe next week it's going to be like a ram packed. Like this guy knows how to get his audience.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good shout, actually.
Confident, wasn't he? That priest.
Yeah.
Sort of like offering it to her and stepping back, and everyone like, "Yo, what you doing?" And then
that's cruel. Yeah. No, I thought that was that was a good sort of like what the frick's going on here?
Did you know what he was trying to do? Did you think? Because I was sort of not spoiled for me, but like I said, I saw it in the trailer.
Yeah, I knew he was trying to get her out the wheelchair.
He did this thing. He went into dick mode.
That was interesting. The whole, and you can go into the logistics of muscle wastage and everything, but the fact that she was just up and walking around and almost she climbed stairs as well, didn't she? She didn't just walk across the floor or shuffle. She proper got up, took a few steps,
hello, my darling,
and then
I
was off up the mountain.
Give her a little top hat and cane and step down.
But to everybody's shock and dismay, and that's kind of where the episode finished, if I remember rightly. I think that was the last image.
I think so.
So, what did you think of this episode?
Good. We're talking earlier. It's not a tricky one to do, but it's such a slow burn season. I feel like these wacky conspiracies are going to fill our podcast. But I think I preferred it to the first episode.
Yes, I do. I did too.
I thought the Riley guy's sort of why he doesn't believe in religion speech was pretty great. I think that's going to be his M. Night Shyamalan journey. You know, like it's going to take the unbelievable, the anti-religion. To get him believing in religion again.
Okay.
I think it's still so much that not that everyone gets their own episode, but I feel like I don't know the pregnant girl, like his childhood sweetheart, if you will.
Yes.
Like I don't know much about her. Nothing's really like what I got from the first meeting is pretty much still what I get from her now. Like no less or no more. We've got a sense more of the town. Like I didn't know that lady with the short hair was like the doctor, the surgeon.
Yes, the one with the mother.
Yeah, and she not comes out as gay, but I don't think I picked up on that on episode 1.
No, that definitely wasn't there. No,
I think if the town is taking out people, like the drug dealer's going to go, and they're like a stringent Christian. If it's like a Christian hitman. She might be the next victim.
Possibly, yeah. Did you think it interesting? And do you expect the mother, the poorly mother, to start getting better now that she's been visited by the priest and drank the blood of what everybody else is drinking?
So, I mean, I won't be surprised if it does, but I feel like knowing like this one is loosely based on his fandom of Stephen King stuffsies. I feel like this woman is the sort of not trope, but the woman who is all muddled and confused. No one listens to, but has the clear picture. Like I do feel like we should be listening to her. Like if she's going to do some ramblings that are like very clear, if we can decipher them, that will be a key to, something that everyone is frustratingly overlooking. Because going, oh, grandma, you and your wacky rambling dementia stuffs, for sure. If she starts getting better, like we'll see her playing the piano at the opening of episode 3 or something.
Yeah, I enjoyed this episode again. Like you, I thought it was stronger than the first one. It is slow burn, but I do like this slow burn.
I
kind of like, again, it's the bleakness of it, the forlorn.
Is Riley obliged to be here? Like, is he like, when you're out of prison, you can only go to a certain place?
Yeah, under the care of your parents or something. That's a good question. I don't know. It's never said really.
I don't know if it's the right place for him.
No,
but I guess he's like. I guess we get the sense he sort of has he's disappeared and he's no place anywhere.
Because he got out, he was sentenced to 10 years and out in 4. So it may well be that he's been put into the care of
parole.
Yeah, and especially here, he's away from all the temptations of the Western world.
But because it's not implied he was an alcoholic, right? Just that he was drunk that night. Like the AAO meetings are like he's legally obliged to do it because of what happened. But at no point has it felt like he was ever an alcoholic. He was just drunk this one night behind the wheel.
Yeah, I think he was not an alcoholic, but he was heading towards that.
But he took it too far. Someone lost their life, and now he's haunted, corpse seeing.
Yeah, jump scared every night before he falls asleep.
It's not a jump; it's just gentle scare, Toby.
Yeah, subtle. Ooh. Okay, well that's everything I think I've got to say on episode 2 anyway.
I'm glad you did the bullet points. Like I said, it was such a hazy episode because I was so hungover.
Let us know what you think, listeners. I am very much finding it not hard, but it's testing my willpower to not watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back to back, like the old binge thing. So I don't want.
Hey, we're going to wrap it up around there. I want to thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Join us again next episode, and until then, have a great day.